Hi, Nora. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there, hanging in there. Well, I want to thank you for coming online today to chat with me and share your story with our students. So we'll just jump right into it. If you can just begin by talking about how you got into Iyengar Yoga.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I came to Iyengar Yoga in the mid 80s to study Iyengar Yoga, but I had known about it for over 10 years before that. When I first came to San Francisco, someone told me about BKS Iyengar, and here's my well-worn version of Light on Yoga. And I would look at it and be inspired by the depth of Guruji's practice, the beauty of his postures, and also by the introduction and the philosophy. I was drawn to the philosophy, and it's a very good basic introduction to the philosophy. But it wasn't until there was a certain window in my life. I'd been in other kinds of movement, body, mind things. I'm a body worker as well. I'd been a modern dancer and taught different things that it was right for me to come more into Iyengar Yoga. And so I arrived at the Iyengar Yoga Institute, and I've been with the Iyengar Yoga Institute of San Francisco ever since.
That is amazing. That's over 30 years, 30 some years.
That's right.
A long time. Wow. So how much into the way of when you first started at the institute did you decide to become a teacher?
Well, to be honest, I had it in mind even as I was starting to practice because I was looking for a practice and I was already teaching things. I loved working in this, temple of the body, spirit, breath. And I had it in mind when I started studying too. So they, in a way, they went together. I went through the teacher training program at the Institute. It was structured differently then. It took a little longer. There weren't too many people. And I was in the first group that INOS had certifications. So that was in the 1989, something like that.
Wow, amazing. And so now you still teach 4 classes at the institute?
That's
And
right, 3 ageless and 1 all levels. Hmm.
could you talk a little bit more about that? What you teach in those classes?
Sure. They are quite different. Ageless is designed for people 50 and over, so it tends to be more seniors like myself. And people have more consistency. They come to class more consistently as in the older group. But of course, there's different limitations that people have. So we work with props, with support, or whatever people need. It's a little slower pace, a little gentler. And, you know, I don't know. I really like working with the senior population. I don't think I would have been interested in my 30s, but as I'm going on, I feel I have something to offer too because I've had, my own challenges and continue to have them. And I think it informs my understanding and maybe gives me more compassion. My other class is all levels, and it's great to teach different populations. All levels tends to draw, that class tends to be people who've been practicing for a little while, but there's also always people coming in who are somewhat newer to the practice and all different age groups.
Very nice. And then lastly, you have a workshop coming up very soon, October 17th on forward bends, my favorite. Could you talk about that?
Yes, I'm excited to teach that workshop. Forward bends are also my favorite. They're kind of my go-to poses for tuning in, calming down, regaining energy, as well as inversions, of course. But I find that they're in many ways the most challenging poses for many people, probably because of tightness in the back body, the hamstrings, the calves, the buttocks, the back, all of the above, any or all, the hips, so that bending forward just pulls on the back, so that we work with all those different ranges and people will walk away at least having a better understanding of how to open and work with the parts of the body that they need to be more comfortable. And then there's the people who love forward bends, who just want to have a longer, deeper class, because we'll end with more seated forward bends and use props so that people can find comfort, can find depth, can find less pressure and benefit their inner body, their organs, their whole system.
So very needed for these times.
Yes.
So is there anything else you want to say to our students, the world out there?
Well, yoga is certainly a refuge for all of us at this time, a refuge and a touchstone, a place to be grounded. And there's a wonderful community within yoga, even though we're on Zoom. There's the support of other people practicing with you. Usually, I like to leave a little time at the end for people to visit a little with each other as we're still largely at our homes these days.
Sounds wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Nora, for again taking this time. It's been fun chatting with you as always.
You too, Maggie.
Thank you.